Okay. So, I'm still quite a bit nauseous. You guys may or may not know that I just posted one of the meltdown videos because I want to show what the invisible side of invisible illness can look like. And part of that for me is meltdowns. I'll see if I can put a link or something, an iCard, something, I don't know. But this is my second time trying to film this video, because if shit could just go right, I would appreciate it. Let's talk, okay? We're gonna talk this week's training session, alright? This week, because Mufasa didn't want to, how would I explain that? He didn't want to do anything. He didn't want to get off his ass. He didn't want to go potty in the proper spot. Well, this has forced me and my trainer to basically treat him like a brand new puppy. We had to go back to basic obedience. So, one thing, can we not do this, buddy, please? One thing I did notice this week with Mufasa in particular is he's starting to pick up on a thing where Maddie was trained to do this. However, I do not want him doing this. Every time when it was just me and Maddie, every time she would stop, she would lay down, and it was an automatic thing with her. I've noticed that when I tell Mufasa to sit, he wouldn't actually sit, but he would lay down. So I found myself correcting him a lot on that this week. Also, I'm gonna preface this before I get to this part, that Mufasa did something absolutely disgusting this week. I'm disgusted by this dog. He hit a new low this week with this one. So I didn't think he could get any worse, but he surprised me this week. There for a while, Mufasa was only going to the bathroom at the front of the house. Now, one day this week, he had to go so bad that he actually ran out in front of me, damn near tripping me, but he went where he was supposed to go. I haven't been able to get him to do it since. So we have basically had to re-potty train him, meaning I now these last couple weeks have not been very easy, like mentally and physically. At the moment it's physically, because in between my back and my stomach, and a lot of the time stomach aches are usually down here. Well, for me it's up and behind my ribs, and it feels like it's pushing out on my ribs, which hurts like hell. You guys know for a while Mufasa wasn't actually able to fit in this vest. So Zena actually ended up having it for a while. Well, I am pleased to say that he now fits into the original harness that I bought him. I had actually bought a tactical collar along with that, but he hated the collar so much that when I pulled it out, he would run to a different room. So I gave up on the collar. I gave it to my mom. Her dog loves it. They like it. The dog loves it, you know, at least it's getting used. So that's all I care about. But I was finally able to pull this out, and I have been clipping onto the top clip. Also this week, we were supposed to be using a long line. But because Mufasa does not pull, he always has some kind of slack. He can be in front of me, but yet he can still manage it to where there's slack in the leash. So I found the long line to be quite a bit of a hindrance. It wasn't helping. So I went through my leash collection and I found this one. This, because I'm always getting questions about this is just a little poop bag that I put on the end of it. But this has been the perfect length. He can still go potty, he still goes where he goes, but the long line was just not working for us. So that has been a huge help, which I will say that I do think we could probably do that for another week, just to get it set in stone. Hey, this is where you're supposed to go. Because I don't know if I stop doing that with him, I don't know that it'll stay like that. Anyway, this week we were supposed to play catch with food and a ball. Something happened this week where we were able to pick up a few things for Mufasa. So, with that being said, the ball that we ordered for him is still not here. It's supposed to be here the day that I'm filming this. So, I hope that helps. The ball, like I said, is not yet here, but the catch with the food has been going really good. He absolutely loves it. He's like, hey, this is easy. I'm getting free treats. He's all happy about it. This week we were also supposed to keep going with the zapper, which we did, but again, I noticed something interesting. The more that we had them in the house, the less he seems to care. Like, he's to the point now where he doesn't even react if they go off, which, if you guys don't know, is a huge step forward. However, there's one little step back, because the ones that are still outside still tend to scare him quite a bit. Let's say, for example, I'm taking him out and I'm taking him to go potty. He's taking a pee or something, you know. Okay, cool, he's taking a pee. Bug zapper goes off. Oh shit. He stops peeing. He stops doing whatever he's doing. He's not panting as much. He still does a little bit, but not near as much as he did. And he doesn't shake near as bad as he used to. But there's still a few problems with the one outside, as you guys can probably tell. So we've been keeping with the zapper training. There is a note on my paper here that says, treat him like he doesn't know anything. Treat him like a brand new puppy. I'm gonna jump up to the zapper thing and the potty situation. I'll try to treat him for going potty where he's supposed to, trying to get him to take a treat for going pee where he's supposed to, going poop where he's supposed to. But again, if that bug zapper goes off, he will not take it. But I did offer it again inside, which he then took. So I found that a little bit interesting. I tend to write things down at least twice, just from what I'm seeing here. The hide and seek, we have not, that has been more problematic. I've been trying to get it done, but I can't seem to get it done. So hide and seek, not very successful in, but the catch with the food has been very successful. Another thing that we were trying to do this week is to find a sound that I can do with my mouth and then tell him to go lay down. Which, again, I find that the time that I need to do that, he doesn't have anywhere to go lay down. For example, when we started this week off, I would take him on his walks as normal. However, I found that if I took him on a walk, he would wait to go poop on the sidewalk on the walk. And a lot of the time, I didn't have any poop bags on me. So I would end up going around twice. Well, not only did he do it once, but he did it twice. So I have now had to stop taking him on walks, and I have to wait for him to poop in the yard. And there's days his poops are not very consistent right now, which I partially think is the dog food that he was on, because obviously his stomach was not doing very good on it. So since then, I did go back to the old food, and he has his own 40-pound bag. So while we are on the topic of poop, this is going to be really gross, just so you guys know. This week, Mufasa gross. This week, Mufasa did something. Chewing up the leash, I didn't think he could get any lower. This week he did. This week he surprised me. This is not something you would expect him to do. Now, I don't know if this dog decided to take a shit in the bedroom, or if he brought poop in from outside, which he couldn't have done because he's been on a leash. So that doesn't make sense. The only other thing that I could think was that he pooped inside the house. Now, again, I'm going to preface this with this is nasty, this is gross. I go in and I fix the bed every morning. It's just something that I do. It's something that I've done for a very long time now. Along with that, Mufasa sleeps at the foot of the bed. Now, by the morning time, he usually has his bed sprawled out everywhere. So, I'll put the pillow back on it, I'll put the couple of pillows that I made, I'll fix his bones. This week, he had 2 chunks of bones that he has been chewing on. The chunks of bones got down to the point where they can be considered dangerous. So I decided to take them away. Well, in doing so, I didn't know that the poop was there. So I still want to burn my hands off. Anyway, I fix his bones, I pick up what I thought was the bone. Nope, that's disgusting. And look at that, and I go, there's a weird line. I'm like, okay, that's not a bone, that's shit. That's shit. I want to now burn my hand. So, how the hell he got it in here, I don't know. It's hit and miss. You know, there's not a whole lot that I can do with that now. But there was little crumbs everywhere. I had to pull out I cannot remember what the hell it is called. I always want to call it a sweeper. It's not the sweeper. Broom, and dustpan. Got that cleaned up. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go burn my hand now. Thanks. Anyway, I found that absolutely disgusting. So, that's the low thing that he did this week. I cannot remember where the hell I was on the list. I think I was at the sound. Oh. I found that when I needed to use the sound that he didn't have access to a place to go and lay down for doing whatever he did. So, I don't know if that's gonna work. That can work in the house, and I can see that working in the house. However, when I need it and when I had to do it, I didn't have access to it. Another thing that I'm gonna say is at the beginning of the week, like I said, we were doing the walks, but he would poop on the sidewalk. There was a few times where we would come across dogs, and I'm happy to say that it seems like the further away from dogs that he is, the less worried about he is about it. Like, if the dog's on the other side of the street, he doesn't really care. But yet, if the dog is in the middle of the road, or if the dog is off leash, he seems to get very, very scared. And that's when the whining issue starts to come in again, which he's been getting better about, just by the way. I managed to get my hands on a slow feeder, which is fantastic. I also managed to get a fun game for him as well. Something that I wanted to run by my trainer and get a second opinion on was we found a water bowl, a slow feeder, and a licky mat, all in one. Now, Maddie has been really lazy. I don't know what it is about her, but she's just getting really lazy up there. She'll get up, she'll get water, you know. If it's too far for home, puppy, she sometimes won't, which can be problematic. So I wanted to get something to put closer to her that she could have access to. Now, with that being said, you're like, okay, why does she need a slow feeder? Well, Maddie doesn't know how to eat without using her entire face. She doesn't realize that she can open her mouth, bite the food, and chew. She doesn't realize this. So, in hopes that we got the slow feeder, hoping it would help her eat nicer. Like, not as much food. Like, half her food ends up on the floor most of the time. So, there is that. And then we also wanted to get a licky mat for her. That way she can still get the licks out, but she leaves her paws alone. Mint. So I wanted to run that by my trainer, and she kind of caught me off guard with, that's an excellent idea. I'm not used to being told that I have good ideas. I've always been told, especially from my ex, that all of my ideas are trash or shit. Whatever. Anyway, managed to get our hands on that one as well. We wanted to keep the training sessions short this week, which I found that there wasn't a structured lesson. It was more or less throughout the day. It was all day, almost. But he didn't seem to get bored about that. He didn't seem uninterested. He was very interested in, like, hey, what are we doing now? You know? Hey, can I have my toy? Can I have my structured thing? I can't remember what this is. The yellow thing back there. Anyway. We managed to get some of those done. Also, I was curious to see, for me, I'm a very visual person. If I don't have something in front of me, I can almost guarantee you that I will not remember. Okay? With that being said, I wanted to find something that would help me see, like, how far he's at. Well, I found that my printer is running out of ink, so excuse that, but I found this. Now, I've always been one of those people who have always been scared to use stuff like this, and until my memories started getting a lot worse, I found that I had to use them, which I later realized, obviously now that I'm older, I've obviously realized they're there for you to use. They wouldn't be there if they didn't want you to use them. So, as a result of that, it's here. Anyway, stays, sit stays, down stays, stand stays. It goes clear up to 30 seconds to 10 minutes. 10 feet away, 15 feet away, disappear, holding toy, holding treat, you know. Most of those right there, I know that he can do. They're not marked off, but I know that he can do them. Sit stays, down stays, stand stays we'll have to work on. And I know he can get up to at least 5 minutes. And I know this because I've worked on him with it. So 30 seconds to 5 minutes. I have the 10-minute one to work on, the 10 feet, 15 feet, you know, stuff like that. Anyway, to physically see like how much my dog doesn't actually know was a little bit discouraging this week. But we've been trying to figure it out. And it's been a little bit easier. Also, I found this cute little thing, and I was just like, I want to know, like, how much he knows. Oh, well, you don't need to see inventory for Movies Mutts. Also, I don't know if I said this at the beginning of the video. I decided to go public with the meltdown that I had. And I say meltdown because I'm not autistic, I'm not any of that, but I don't know what else to call it. Anyway, for the meltdown, I'm wondering if maybe if I can get Mufasa to do some kind of full body pressure, if that would end the episode faster. So I have been very curious about that lately. Also, you guys know that I deal with vasovagal syncope. The longest episode happened in Denver and was on the upside about 3 hours. Which obviously at that point we had called an ambulance. Ambulance come, ambulance find me. Taylor's in her Wookiee onesie. Ambulance decides to grab me by the zipper of my onesie. At this point, I am floating in the air. I realize I am floating in the air, and I try to come to. Alright? No. These fuckers decided to slam me on a gurney. Okay, well, I feel like I'm in an even worse situation now. So I try to force myself to come to. Okay. I'm looking around, I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on, why are all these people here, and where the hell am I? So many questions. There's one particular EMT that decided to mouth off at my husband. Red flags start going up. Okay, cool. My husband is not somebody who will back down from a fight. You want to fight him, he'll go, and he'll usually win. Because he's a big heavy guy, but he can move. As a result of this, I see this EMT mouthing off, and I'm trying to yell, stop. Can't get it out, but I'm trying. Now, come to find out that my husband was trying to explain to this EMT who decided to mouth off, was trying to explain to him I have a long, complicated health history. And he was just trying to tell them, hey, this is what it is. The EDS was not diagnosed at that time. The vasovagal syncope wasn't diagnosed. The POTS was the only one that we knew about at that point. The POTS and the seizures were the only two things that we knew about. Well, I get to the ambulance and I ask about my service dog, Maddie, at the time. Maddie was the only one that I had. They denied access to Maddie being with me. My husband gets in his truck, grabs Maddie's vest, grabs Maddie's leash. At the time, she wore a head halter. Grabs the head halter, puts her into the truck, and he's right behind the ambulance. They're running me down, lights and sirens. Great. Cool. Thanks for freaking denying me my service dog. So yes, I have medical trauma, but don't ever, EMT, I don't know if there's any EMTs watching this. If you are, do not deny service dogs. I could have easily gone after them. I wasn't very law savvy at the time. Didn't know any better. I decided to be that one law savvy person who knows the laws. You deny me my service dog, I will report you. I don't give a crap who you are. Alright? Anyway, vasovagal syncope. This last couple rounds I've been able to get myself to come to long enough for me to be able to yell help. Okay? So I'm wondering if maybe I can get Mufasa a cue word of help, which means go get daddy. Whether daddy's awake or whether daddy's asleep. Go get daddy. If daddy is asleep and mom is yelling help, you need to be able to jump up on that bed and you need to get your dad awake. Okay? So, yes, I've got some medical trauma. I've got shit to deal with that has not been very easy for me to deal with. It is possible to deal with stuff like this. There's just been so much going on right now that it's a little too crazy right now. So that's kind of, the vasovagal syncope is kind of on the back burner at the moment. Anyway, yeah, so we got that. Okay. But yes, that is our training this week. Yeah, okay. Anyway, I love you guys. I hope you guys are having a good day. I will talk to you guys later. Oh, also, side note, you guys know I have all these Amazon packages on the way. Did you guys want me to do a haul or not? I probably will end up filming it, but I don't know if the video is up, if it went up, or whatever. If it is, I'll see if I can put it on like an Insight or an iCard or something. I don't know. And then we can figure it out from there. If the video's up, I'll try to put it in an iCard. I'll try to put it in the description box. I love you guys. I hope you guys are having a good day. Bye, guys.